students. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about UJT acts as a triggering circuit. In the last lecture, we have discussed about VI characteristics of UJT. In that VI characteristics, we have concluded two important points. Those are the first one here. If emitter voltage greater than the peak voltage, the UJT will turn on. If emitter voltage less than the valley point voltage, UJT will simply turn on. So these 2 points are very important. So we can observe these points from the VI characteristics of UJT. Okay. So coming to the circuit diagram, in this, here I am taking UJT symbol having 3 terminals, emitter, base 1 and base 2, and each base terminal connected to external resistance R1 and R2, and there is one more element, capacitor is connected between emitter and base 1, and there is another resistance is connected, R is the resistance connected between the terminals capacitor and supply. Here the supply voltage is VBB connected to the circuit, and coming to here, VE is the representation emitter voltage, and V0 is the output voltage, that is the voltage drop across resistance R1. We treated, here we are considering the drop across R1 is the output voltage. So this voltage will act as a voltage source to gate and cathode terminals. Simply acts as a gate voltage source. So coming to the point here I am taking a SCR here having a gate terminal, and this one is a cathode. So when we create a drop across R1, that is the V0, so that our job will completed. That is simply that V0 will act as a voltage source, gate voltage source. So when V0 is available, we can simply connect that V0 to gate and cathode. Now the V0 acts as a gate voltage, to trigger the SCR. So this is our objective. Once we create V0, our job will be completed. So that is our concept. Now we are going to discuss the concept how to create a drop across R1. That is our main motto of this lecture. Okay. Right. So here V0, that is the voltage drop across the R1, will act as a gate voltage supply. Right. So from in this observe the circuit, we have 2 paths from the supply. This is the dotted lines represent the path to flow current, and here the lower branch in this circuit must be connected to the ground having 0 voltage potential. And now this is the first path, and the second path from the supply to flow current paths through UJT. So this is the second path from supply to the neutral point or ground point. So initially UJT is in off state, so that's why the current passing through the second path is 0. So when UJT is in off state, it will act as a open switch. It will act as a open switch. The current passing through the open switch is 0. That's why initially the second path will not available to allow the current. Only the first path allows the current. This red line is the representation flowing or path of the current. Current passing in this path from supply to neutral point or ground point. This is okay. In this path, we can observe the existence of the capacitor. So there, when the current is passing through the capacitor starts its charging. So that is across the capacitor. Here I am representing capacitor voltage, that is VC. Capacitor voltage having a polarities. This is positive and this one is negative. When the current is passing in this path, in the first path, in that path the capacitor is available. Capacitor can start its charging. So that is capacitor starts charging. That is the capacitor charging voltage VC, and capacitor charging with a time constant tau 1 is equal to, in that path, charging path, there is a resistance R and capacitor value is C. So this is the time constant to charge the capacitor. Okay, right. So coming to the next very important point, while the capacitor is charging, the capacitor charging voltage is increasing from 0, and what is the maximum voltage of capacitor charging voltage? That is equal to supply voltage, that is VBB. Okay, so while capacitor charging at a particular point, or if charging voltage VC is equal to VP, peak voltage of UJT. So this is the point where UJT can start conduction. At this point, UJT will simply turn on. UJT will simply turn on. Coming to this point, VE greater than or equal to VP, there UJT will turn on. Okay, right. In this, VC is the voltage across, coming to the circuit, VC is the voltage across the capacitor. Now the capacitor is connected between emitter and base 1, that is the emitter voltage. So capacitor voltage, our represented emitter voltage are in parallel. So we can conclude this point, the emitter voltage is equal to capacitor charging voltage. So that's why we consider this condition when VC or VE greater than or equal to VP, so UJT will turn on. Right. So when UJT turn on, when UJT is in turn on, so it will act as a, when UJT turn on means it acts as a short circuit switch, allows the conduction. So when UJT turn on, allows the conduction from emitter to base 1, so that is the current direction. This is the red line is the representation current direction, that is IE, emitter current from emitter to base 1. Okay. So when UJT turn on, it allows the conduction. Also provide discharging path. Also provide discharging path to capacitor. Right. When UJT turn on, capacitor starts. When UJT turn on, capacitor starts its discharging. It's discharging. The discharging path is represented in red arrow, that is IE path. Okay. So the capacitor choosing that path to discharge its voltage across the resistance, across the resistor R1. Okay, right. So once again, when UJT is in turn on, it allows the discharging path to capacitor. Capacitor choose that path to discharge its voltage across the R1 which is existed in that path. Right. So hence, when capacitor is discharging its voltage, the same voltage will appear across the resistance. So when this is the concept we can understand. V0 is equal to IE. IE is also called as the discharging current into discharging current or emitter current into R1. So that's why whatever the capacitor discharging its voltage, that will be appear across R1 as a voltage drop. That means we can conclude here the voltage drop across the R1, that is V0, is equal to discharging voltage, Right, this is the concept. Now, so coming to the conceptual point of view here, when capacitor starts its discharging, simply the same discharging voltage available across R1. So now V0 is available. Our job is completed. The same V0 will act as a gate voltage to trigger the SCR. So this is the concept. Okay, right. Now, as per the discussion, V0 is created, that is equal to capacitor discharging voltage. Okay, capacitor discharging voltage V0 is available, and very important point, while capacitor is discharging its voltage, we see the capacitor voltage going to decrease, and coming to the important point here, while capacitor is discharging its voltage, the capacitor voltage will be decreased. In that process, the capacitor voltage less than the valley point voltage, our UJT will be, this is the condition to turn off the UJT. UJT will be off, turn off. Here our condition VE is equal to VC. So our condition is when VE less than valley point voltage, UJT will be turn off. Here VE is equal to VC. That's why when capacitor voltage is less than the valley point voltage, UJT will be turn off. Once UJT turn off, it will not provide discharging path, to the capacitor, to the capacitor. So once when UJT turn off, it will not provide discharging path. It will not provide discharging path to the capacitor. That means capacitor stops its discharging. So as per the discussion, so based on the discussion, we can easily draw the waveforms of capacitor voltage and the output voltage, that is the V0, that is the voltage drop across R1, right? So when this is the axis, vertical axis here taking capacitor voltage and the horizontal axis the time axis. So when capacitor starts its charging from 0, so this is the charging process. When it reaches to this dotted lines is called peak voltage. When it is reached to peak voltage, that means at that point we can see VC in this circuit or in this discussion, capacitor voltage acts as emitter voltage. When VC is equal to VP or VE is equal to emitter voltage is equal to peak voltage, at this instant UJT simply turn on. When UJT turn on, it allows discharging path. It allows the path for discharging, right? From that instant, capacitor starts discharging its voltage. Means capacitor voltage is going to decrease, right? So coming to this point, concentrate at this point. The capacitor voltage is equal to valley point voltage. So we know the condition when capacitor voltage or emitter voltage less than the valley point voltage, UJT will simply UJT turn off, right? So at this point capacitor stops its discharging, because if we allow discharging beyond this point, the capacitor voltage less than the valley point voltage. This is below the valley point voltage. If the capacitor voltage is going to below the valley point voltage, the UJT will turn off. So once the UJT turn off means it will not provide a path for discharging. That means capacitor stops its discharging. That's why at this point capacitor stops its discharging. Again capacitor starts its charging from this point, and a particular point it reaches to VC is equal to VP. At this point again UJT turn on. So once UJT turn on, it allows the path for the discharging of the capacitor voltage. When the capacitor voltage reaches to valley point voltage, it stops its discharging. From there again it starts charging. So again when it reaches to VC is equal to VP, again UJT turn on, again starts its discharging. Capacitor starts its discharging through UJT, right? This is the charging and discharging process of a capacitor. When capacitor is charging, very important point, the time constant is τ1. When capacitor is discharging, here I am representing discharging, this is the red line. When capacitor is charging, time constant is τ1. When capacitor is discharging with the time constant τ2. Here very important conclusion point, the charging time constant is more greater than discharging time constant. Very important point. So coming to the representation of voltage across R1, that is the output voltage or our desired voltage, acts as a gate voltage to trigger the SCR. So already we discussed this point. The V0, that is the voltage drop across R1, available only during the discharging. That means V0 is equal to discharging voltage. V0 is equal to discharging voltage. That means this V0 is available during the discharging period. So where we can find the discharging period here? So this is the discharging duration in the VC curve, capacitor voltage curve. So make a dotted lines and simply draw that part of voltage. The discharging voltage simply appeared across R1, acts as a V0. This is the voltage. And the same manner you can draw this, the second pulse here. This is the periodic waveform. The same shape will repeat, So represent the discharging voltage. The same discharging voltage will appear across the resistance or R1. So now this is the V0 voltage pulse. V0 appearing as a pulses. These pulses or this voltage now existed across R1, and the same V0 will act as a VG to turn on the SCR. The V0 acts as a gate voltage to turn on the SCR or to trigger the SCR. Right. So coming to this, representation of time period of capacitor voltage, choose a waveform which is repeating with a particular time interval. So for that you consider the waveform from this part onwards from this part. So observe the waveform. The shape is repeating with a particular time interval like this. So the time interval is called time period, that is representing T. T is the time period of this waveform, right? This is about VC waveform representation and output voltage which across the R1. And coming to the next one, calculation part here. Here, while capacitor is charging, from the circuit analysis we know that charging voltage, that is supply voltage VBB into 1 minus e power minus t by tau 1 during the charging, where tau 1 is equal to R into C. This is the resistance in the charging path. So this is the first point. And coming to the second point, when VC is equal to VP, at this point only UJT starts its conduction. So VP is the peak voltage, that is VP is equal to eta times of VBB plus VD. In this, VD is negligible, is equal to 0, very less. Now equivalent VC is equal to VP, that is VC is VBB minus e power t by RC is equal to eta times of VBB. VBB cancelled out. From this relation we can calculate the time period of the UJT. T is equal to simply RC into 1 by 1 minus eta. This is the formula to calculate time period of the output waveform. And coming to the next, calculation of R2, that is the resistance which is connected to the base 2. It is formula 10 power 4 divided by eta times of VBB. And coming to the next formula, that is R minimum. This is the resistance in the charging path. When it is minimum, we can calculate the minimum resistance the resistance which is in the charging path, R minimum. R minimum is related to valley point. The valley point current is IV and the voltage is VV and the supply voltage is VBB. R is equal to V by I, that is R minimum is equal to VBB. This is the resistance is connected between supply voltage and the voltage at the emitter. This is the emitter point, VE or VC. So VE, when it is at when UJT operating at peak point, VE is equal to VP. When UJT is operating at valley point, VE or VC is equal to V suffix V, that is the valley point voltage. So based on that, VBB minus valley point voltage by IV, that is the valley point current, the current at valley point. Right, coming to calculate, when R is maximum, R max, that is the resistance in the charging path, this is related to peak point. In UJT operation, we have a 2 points. One is peak point or maximum point. Another one is valley point or minimum point. That's why we are calculating R max and R minimum. This peak point, at this peak point, the current is IP and the voltage is VP, supply voltage is VBB. So R max formula is equal to V by I, that is VBB minus VP and IP. In this way we can calculate time period and R2, R charging, the resistance in the charging path, that is R maximum and R minimum. Okay. So this is about, from this lecture we can easily understand how the UJT acts as a triggering circuit. Okay. Thank you so much.